Straight ahead on CCX News, a story that will soften the heart.
We don't know who did it. Every time we came home from something, it was, there was more.
How a sad time for a local family turned a little merrier. Plus, an ounce of prevention this holiday season. How Maple Grove firefighters are helping seniors with smoke alarms. And a perfect time to cross-country ski. We'll preview the event expected to attract hundreds. CCX News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. This time of year is particularly hard for a Champlin family.
Yeah, 18-year-old Danny Rogers died last December in a tragic accident. She was struck and killed trying to board a North Star commuter rail train. Rogers graduated from Champlin Park High School and was a National Honor Society student. As Sonia Goins reports, while her family's Christmas may never be the same, the community is hoping to change that.
I can't change what happened, but my job now is to make sure no one forgets. I can't forget and I won't let them.
Mike Rogers has pictures and other mementos to remind him of his oldest daughter, Danny.
3 or 4 days after Danny's accident, we came home. And that was just sitting on her doorstep.
Danny was killed last year, just a week and a half before Christmas.
She would like it.
The family doesn't plan to put up a tree.
They made a bunch of these, say once a rebel, always a rebel. We have a few of those hanging around.
But Mike really doesn't need a tree inside his home.
None of these are ours. We didn't put a single one of these up.
All he has to do is step out his front door.
Yeah, this one's one of my favorites here.
To see
a stocking with the letter D on it.
And feel the Christmas spirit.
Now it's the angel tree or Danny's angel tree. Yep.
This is Danny's angel tree.
Pretty cool to see it kind of unfold the way it did.
Last year, folks from all over the metro stopped by to hang an angel or other ornaments on the tree.
The first few days it was really hard actually seeing it. Now I smile when I see it now.
The family doesn't know who started the random acts of kindness.
Every time we came home from something, it was, there was more.
But the tradition continues this holiday season.
We got dinosaurs, we got angels, snowflakes, ornaments, bells, just about everything.
When Danny was alive, this was her favorite hangout spot.
Yep.
Now others are enjoying the tree too.
We've seen people come here with their own kids, and that's what's really cool to me is when they come like as a family and do it. I think that's cool.
Danny may be gone, but her spirit continues to live on through her family and people who never met her.
We can't thank them enough for this. This really means a lot to us.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Danny often volunteered in the community. Her family is carrying on her legacy by encouraging people to do random acts of kindness. The family also used money from Danny's bank account to start the Danielle Rogers Memorial Scholarship at Champlin Park.
One person is hospitalized after a shooting overnight in Brooklyn Park, followed by a car crash in Brooklyn Center. According to Brooklyn Park Police, officers were initially called to a report of 2 vehicles involved in a shootout near 85th Avenue and Highway 252. Police later learned one of the vehicles had crashed in Brooklyn Center near Humboldt and 70th Avenues North. Police are continuing to investigate. So far, no arrests have been made. Fire officials say winter is a time to be more aware of fire hazards in your home.
Yeah, we're cooking more, there are candles, and the fireplace is often burning. That makes smoke alarms even more important. And Maple Grove has a program that helps keep seniors protected.
This house was built in 1998, and so these are original smoke alarms, which I thought were fine.
But they weren't fine, so Carrie Shamber went shopping when she discovered all of her smoke alarms were outdated and only one was working. She didn't realize they have an expiration date.
For some reason or other, I found that a little bizarre, and I thought they would last forever, so definitely surprising. I don't know why, but it was. So, not good news.
The hardware store clerk told her about a Maple Grove program for seniors where firefighters would install her new smoke alarms for free, something she could not do herself. They've installed alarms in the homes of more than 200 seniors this year.
These were taken out of some seniors' homes, and I mean, they're ancient. We had one that was 40 years old. And guess what? Nothing happens when we push the button either.
Deputy Fire Chief Marilyn Arnland says smoke alarms need to be replaced every 10 years.
90% of the population, when you go to sleep, your nose goes to sleep. So you're not going to smell smoke. So smoke alarms are going to be the only way to get you awake in the middle of the night and out of your house in a really timely manner.
And Arlen says you don't want to replace an old alarm with one that has old technology. She says those that are marked with an I use ionization, which tends to produce false alarms. Instead, look for one with a photoelectric sensor. The replacement program has obvious benefits for seniors, but also saves the city money in the long run.
It's crazy how less fire calls we've been getting because of bad smoke alarms or chirping smoke alarms. It's really brought our fire calls down.
And Carrie Shamber found out she's not the only one with smoke alarms that are no longer useful.
In fact, I've told my story already to a few other people that are like, oh my gosh, we have to check that. We haven't done that.
And if you live in Maple Grove, you can call the Fire Prevention Department to get on their schedule.
A medical device company in Plymouth will be sold to a medtech giant based in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Entellus makes devices used to treat chronic sinus problems. The Plymouth company was started in 2006 and has grown to more than 275 employees. This week it was announced Michigan's Stryker Corporation will acquire Entellus for $662 million. It's unclear how the acquisition will affect Entellus employees.
Well, now that the cold weather has arrived, the winter sports season is also getting started. Saturday is the inaugural Nordic Ski Opener at Elm Creek Park Reserve. The event includes free ski rentals and lessons from instructors, and there will also be 42 vendors on site and ski industry experts conducting seminars.
We'll have ski manufacturers, you can try demo new skis. We'll have wax manufacturers giving wax demos, as well as other industry experts who are going to give presentations inside the chalet. We'll have some group starts throughout the day that you can take part in, and then Minnesota Youth Ski League's putting on a kids carnival where you can go and do an obstacle course, and kids can have a good time out here skiing as well.
The Three Rivers Parks District is expecting 3,000 people for the Nordic Ski Opener. The first 1,000 visitors receive a free ski buff. Still ahead, one impressive coat collection.
We'll show you how it's benefiting a good cause. Plus, it's a battle right to the end as Cooper takes on Minneapolis Roosevelt in a boys' basketball thriller.
But first, chilly, then a brief thaw. Saturday has biting cold and Sunday a short reprieve. Well, we often see the very best of people during the holiday season when donations and acts of goodwill are on the increase.
And reporter Shannon Slatton shares one of those stories when an employee at a Crystal business went above and beyond to collect coats for people in need.
This is amazing.
Employees at one Crystal business have been on a mission this month, and that mission is coats. Hundreds and hundreds of coats.
Our department started collecting jackets. We just kept getting more and more and more. So using community members and social media, the word just spread, and we ended up collecting more than 200 warm weather jackets for people of all ages.
Robbinsdale Police is one of the many groups who pitched in to help a local employee with a big heart.
It's kind of overwhelming on generosity of people.
A member of the sales team, Todd Vreeland, got the ball rolling to collect coats. He is a Twins fan, and specifically a fan of former Minnesota Twin Justin Morneau, who still holds a winter coat drive for the Salvation Army. Todd believes in the player and in the cause.
You see a lot of people that don't have obviously much or don't have money to buy certain things, and it was a way for us to reach out and give homeless people and less fortunate a warm coat.
Friday, the Salvation Army drove out to a home in Dayton where the coats were stored to pick them up. They were surprised at what they saw.
When we got here and they said we needed a bigger vehicle, they were right. We needed a bigger vehicle. So this is exciting, and I think our folks will really love all the different varieties of coats too.
The van wouldn't even hold all of the coats that are destined for the Harbor Light Center in Minneapolis.
It's a good year for this one.
People in need will get to pick out their free coat.
So, I mean, these boxes, you can't even hardly lift them. I mean, there's a lot of coats in them.
There's not a final number on the coats yet, but Todd and team are confident they will hit their goal. 2,000 coats to keep 2,000 people warm this winter.
Thank you, thank you. I just can't say thank you enough. This is beyond words.
In Dayton, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
You can turn in a coat and be a part of the coat drive on Saturday at the Ridgedale Mall. Former Twin Justin Morneau will be there from 11 a.m. until noon. Still ahead, one of the most popular Disney movies returns to the local theater scene.
But first, local players gear up for Saturday's Minnesota High School All-Star football game. Jay Wilcox is in next.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. A longtime summer staple, the Minnesota High School All-Star football game moved to right after the football season last year. The 2017 Minnesota Showcase is Saturday at US Bank Stadium. The North team, which includes several players from the Northwest suburbs, held its third day of practices Friday at Concordia in St. Paul in preparation for the game. The South team worked out at Augsburg. In addition to players from Cooper, Armstrong, Maple Grove, Osseo, Champlain Park, and Totino, Grace Cooper's Willie Howard is one of the North coaches, along with Joe Basil of Maple Grove. We talked to 3 of the local All-Stars about the experience.
I think it's one of the biggest honors, being selected as one of the top athletes in Minnesota and playing with the other best athletes in Minnesota, so it's definitely one of the top.
It's a great feeling knowing that you have the opportunity to play another game, and just being able to be picked for this is just a great feeling.
It's a wonderful experience, and I'm just blessed to be able to come down here and showcase, my talents and just hang around with the other guys that got chosen.
It's a list of players from our area competing in the All-Star game. Armstrong kicker Matthew Jager, Cooper's Ante Burns and Phoenix Sproles, Anthony Williams of Osseo, Jake Hansen of Maple Grove, Thomas Zinna of Champlain Park, and Zach Collins of Totino Grace. Kickoff is set for 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon at US Bank Stadium. In boys hockey, Maple Grove won a section championship last season, while Armstrong Cooper won the West Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference. The Wings playing host to the Crimson Thursday night. AC's Bjorn Jensen forces a turnover and from his knees starts a 2-on-1. Drew Ide to Ben Anderson, and Anderson buries it for a 1-0 Armstrong Cooper lead in the first period. Same score in the second, and the Wings, Braden Gray on the rush, rings it off the goalpost. It stays 1-0 through 2 periods. In the third, Maple Grove gets the equalizer as Will Peeler's turnaround try is saved, but Ian Slotsby pounces on the rebound, and it's 1-1 through regulation. And watch this one in overtime. The wraparound try comes out front, and Noah Wiesjohn is robbed by Maple Grove's Ethan Heider, and this game ends in a 1-1 tie. In boys basketball, Cooper had its season opener Thursday night, and it went down to the wire. The Hawks trailing Minneapolis Roosevelt 22-16 after a sluggish first half. Second half action, Nate Hill drives in transition to score for Cooper as they battle back. Leo Buchwald knocks down a 3 for Roosevelt, and their lead balloons to 10 at 34-24. But Cooper keeps coming. Cam Vaughn drives and shovels it to Trocon Massey for the jam, and the Hawks are within 3. Jalen Justice drives and hits a runner for 2 of his team-high 21. Cooper's up by 3, and they go up by as much as 7, but they can't close it out. Buchwald with a shot fake, and he steps in and hits a 15-footer that gives the Teddies the lead back late. Cooper gets a couple of late opportunities to tie or go ahead, but it doesn't go for the Hawks. Roosevelt pulls out a 65-62 win. Also in boys basketball, Totino Grace hosting Benilde in a Catholic school matchup. Benilde dominates early. Gabe Alata finds room to drive the baseline for 2, and it's 7-0 Red Knights. The cross-court pass finds lefty Nick Peterson, and he nails a long 3, and Benilde grabs a 26-12 lead. Peterson scores 10. Joe Dunn flashes into the lane and scores on the up and under move for 2 of his team-high 17. ESM leads by 16. Charlie Jacob is a good one for the Eagles. This pull-up jumper is part of a 23-point night for him. The Grace trails 38-21 at the half. Jacob helps to lead a rally with this bucket, and the Eagles pull to within 7, but Benilde doesn't give up the lead. They win at 69-60 for their first win in 3 tries. In gymnastics, Wayzata is hoping to put together a strong season. They open the dual meet season on Thursday night. Wayzata hosting Edina in a late conference meet. This is Madeline Tapper on the vault for the Trojans. She falls in her landing, but the degree of difficulty is high enough to earn her an 8-9, best in the meet. Grace Trainer is very talented for the Trojans. Trainer in action here on the uneven bars, and she scores a 9.4, winning this event by more than a full point. To the balance beam, and Grace's sister Izzy performs well for Wayzata. She scores an 8.475 to place second in this event, and Izzy is also second in the all-around competition. And Grace Trainer wins the beam with a 9.525. She wins the all-around as well with a 36.475 score. Wayzata wins the meet 135.975 to 130.725. And we'll have girls basketball live Friday night on CCX as top-ranked Hopkins takes on Minnetonka. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, looking forward to it. Up next, just in time for the holidays, a timeless tale about our inner beauty.
Neil Persley gives us a front row preview of Beauty and the Beast Jr. when we come back.
Well, finally, a Disney classic returns to the local theater scene.
In Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley takes us to Stages Theater in Hopkins for a tale as old as time.
It's the tale as old as time, and it's on stage now at Stages Theater in Hopkins as they bring to life Disney's Beauty and the Beast Jr.
People are in love with this story, I'll tell you. And I felt a certain obligation to keep it fresh and yet have it be as magical as people expect it to be.
Helping to keep it magical is Ian Handeland, who plays Lumiere, the candelabra, one of the household objects who are formerly the prince's servants that have been turned into things, along with the prince, who was turned into the beast.
I watched some French movies and things like that to sort of figure out the accent, and we also brought in a vocal coach who helped me.
Mild-mannered Trevor Hendricks of Crystal faces a tall challenge in portraying the quick-tempered and ferocious beast.
The character requires a big voice, and I use a lower voice, I guess, and then a certain posture.
11-year-old Kyla Player plays lots of roles. She's the smallest child in the town scenes. She's in the ensemble, and she plays the salt shaker in Be Our Guest. And she has a special invitation for you.
Come to this show because it's very, very awesome. And I want you to feel good about yourself. It is very awesome. There's exciting parts, fun parts, silly parts. It's a lot of fun.
And with an endorsement like that, what's holding you back? For a Weekend Showcase from Stages Theater in Hopkins, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Beauty and the Beast Jr. at Stages Theater in Hopkins runs through December 28th. Sounds like a good show. Interesting.
I've actually seen it. It's very cute.
It's
very cute.
Brought your granddaughter.
Yes.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again on Monday, starting at 4. Have a great weekend, everyone.